The Buckingham name is very personal to me. It's my mother's maiden name, and it's my middle name. I wanted the business to be the business, and to me the business was more than me. It was the sum of its parts, which means it's the people. It's all of the team members that have helped us grow this business over these years. And I knew that early on, and so Buckingham was a great name that really not a lot of people would understand, but to me was perfect for the endeavor that I wanted to spend my life building. Since I was in my teens, I've been industrious. I've really just enjoyed working, and so myself and three friends started cutting lawns, cutting grass, and we were cutting the grass in the lawns and doing landscape work for apartment complexes of all things. It's coincidental. And we did that, I was 15 and we owned 2 trucks and I couldn't even drive them because I didn't have my license. The company's founding was the result of my first merger and acquisition as a 20-year-old when I sold a business and was looking for something to do, knowing zero about real estate at that time. And I'm a big believer over the years that the best way to learn is by just jumping in the deep end of the pool and doing it. We acquired a bank repossession on the west side of Indianapolis by the IUPUI campus. It was all experience. There wasn't a lot of value creation. The value was in the learning that we achieved going through the process. But even at that point, acquiring and assembling 31 units while I was in school at Indiana University, I still didn't know that I wanted to make this my life passion. And I got some really good advice. Get a little distance from the city you grew up in and spend time, give yourself time to find something that you love. And that was to pick up where I left off in the real estate business. And I was very clear that I enjoyed it. It provided the creativity that I needed individually. And it could be a business and it could be a career for me that I could enjoy for a very long time. It takes time to find that, and it's not going to happen overnight, and don't be in a hurry. But do the best you can to explore and find things that you're excited to go in and do every day. I remember really not knowing what the first step was in the development process or the construction process. I didn't know how a building was built back in 1989. I was a finance major from IU, and I didn't have any construction background. We're a fully integrated development business, and we've grown that, step by step by step by step. We didn't start out to be a fully integrated development business, and I think it's one of the fundamental successes that we've had is being able to control the message about customer service, the quality of our properties, and how to market and convey that to the customer. Every stage, every evolution of the company has been linear. Starting in the development business, starting in the investment business, then adding a property management business to have control of the product once it was built. And then we did the same thing a few years later with Buckingham Construction because we wanted to control the quality of the product. I do believe that our product is just a little bit different than our competitors. I think, whether it's the finishes in the interior of the apartments, or it's the exterior, or it's the look and feel, or it's the interior mini package, we just have a quality approach that we build for the long term. And you cannot get that with using third-party contractors. And so, again, step by step, property management and then construction, it's all about managing expectations and managing the quality of our delivery system. The company was growing pretty significantly, and about every 5 years we were needing to change office spaces just because of our needs were changing. And I've driven by the historic Stokely building, 5,000 times by the time I finally walked in the building. The terracotta facade is just timeless, and you can't build that again. But it's when I went into the building that I really fell in love with it, because it has so much interesting architecture and history that was covered. And again, it's part of what we do as a company is we go in and we find these little hidden gems and we expose them. And so we took a struggling neighborhood, and we're on the way. We're not there yet, but we're on the way to really regentrifying it, and that's been very rewarding as well. We were hand-selected to develop a very important quadrant of the city of Indianapolis. It wasn't an RFP process. We didn't have to compete for it. Someone picked up the phone and called us and said, we have 10 acres in Indianapolis right downtown, and we like what you've done. It did give us a blank canvas, if you will, to paint on in a very important part of the city. It was a real opportunity for us to showcase the talent that we had. We were allowed to do things that we hadn't done before and prove that we could do them, and I think it's exceeded expectations, and that's super rewarding for us. The art of living is not just a tagline, it's a mindset. I'm fortunate to be in a business where I can use a lot of different tools, and one of those tools is, being able to apply some creativity. And so art has been a part of my life for 25 years. Whether it's a significant art collection like the Alexander, or it's just small elements of our design, our signage package, our environmental graphics, or even our garages. You walk into our garages and you're surprised. It doesn't jump off the page to a consumer and to our customers, but I think it speaks to them quietly. And I think that's the difference that our company delivers. We believe in multifamily housing. We believe in our ability to be an institutional manager of capital. And we've proven that for a very long time. And so we formed Buckingham Partners as a real estate private equity business and have started building that team. Our investment partners are best in class, and we're really excited about the growth of that business. It's a very promising new venture and off to a great start. It's important to balance our institutional approach while maintaining our entrepreneurial spirit. My job is to protect that culture and make sure we don't become too institutional, actually. I can't tell you what's around the corner for this company, but I can tell you it's going to be exciting, it's going to be consistent with our values, it's going to be consistent with our mission, it's going to be consistent with our culture. I'm surrounded with such a strong group of people, and I'm fortunate that I like what I do and I like who I do it with. You got to like the culture, you got to buy into the mission, and you got to be durable. And it's created a great culture because the people who stick around are those people. They love a challenge. They love work that is different than our peers. It's a culture of humility and community mindedness. It's a culture of hard work. And it's a culture that attracts a certain person, and that certain person has allowed this company to grow for 35 years.